What's going on, everybody? Toby1 Shinobi here, and today I'm going to show you how to win more games in ranked Fortnite Zero Build Chapter 5, Season 1. This is going to be a duos ranked game where I'm going to show you inside my mind, basically, give you my flow of consciousness, basically, of what I was thinking in these moments. And this video is really about decision making and strategy. I gotta say, ranked in general is really about decision making, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's get right into the video. Okay, let's start with a drop spot, right? So we're dropping in at fencing fields. I like fencing fields. I'm someone that does like to have medallion in ranked. I don't like to carry heals in ranked and pubs, basically. Yeah, I just don't like to carry heals. I like to carry double mobility or double utility in most cases. Sniper rifle, shotgun, assault rifle, and then two things of mobility or a thing of mobility and like portaforts, something like that. Sometimes I will pick up the flow berries, which I guess you could call heals, but they're also kind of utility. As you can see here, when we drop in at fencing, I like to go for this pond over here because it's got a slurp truck, and I am shooting for this little valley right here, and we pull our glider and we come in for a nice drop. Now that's basically about the distance. You can also land on this road over here to my right to hit that chug truck well further back, kind of by the berry stand. But yeah, this is always going to be basically a perfect drop on the chug truck here, or slurp truck. So I land here. My teammate usually goes and gets the car. That's also a great strategy, is to just get that car. And I'm going to say it a bunch of times, but the cars in Fortnite Zero Build, especially in Chapter 5, are really, really good. Just really powerful. Always good to have vehicles. My duo here is going to grab the car because that's going to be useful for us if we need to get out, right? If somebody pushes us and we don't have weapons right now, we jump in the car and rotate somewhere else, grab some weaponry. Okay, I'm going to sum up the early stages of the game when you drop hot like this. Number one, it's all about getting gear and surviving on your drop, right? You need to have enough gear to be able to play the game and be able to actually get out of bad engagements. What that means is you want to drop on the outskirts of the POI where there's not going to be a lot of drama, right? On the edge of the POI. If you drop on the middle, you're going to be surrounded by teams, you're going to fight one, you're going to get third party by the team behind you, you're going to get pinched. So land on an edge, get some decent loot, and then roll in and secure the perimeter, right? Go around the edge. Don't just run through the middle of the POI because you really don't know how many people are there. And the second point I'll make is if you land at a medallion POI, you really don't want to fight the boss without knowing where everyone is first, right? So if you see a bunch of gliders dropping into your POI and then you go and start fighting the boss right away, you're pretty much dead. In most cases, those people that are dropping in really want to third party you as you're fighting the boss so that they can come in right as you're finishing that boss, kill you, and then grab the medallion and the mythic weapon, and now they're on their way. So instead, you can either one, bait them to come in, so by shooting the boss, getting them to fight you, and then jumping up on the roof or whatever and looking for third parties to come in, or number two, just ignore the boss entirely and just listen in for other people fighting and kind of just clear the POI yourself, right? Try to account for how many people dropped into your POI and then make sure you're clearing all those teams. Then you go get the medallion, open the vault. Because if you get the medallion with teams still alive in your POI, you're probably going to get killed while you open the vault. Rats love to get out their clinger grenades, hide in a corner, and just wait for you to stand in front of that vault door and blow you up. Now the boss is out in the courtyard and we're just kind of waiting, laying the trap, and nothing so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward a little bit. We continue to loot, and now I moved up to this building and I see footsteps. That's two pairs of footsteps right next to each other, moving fairly quick. And now I see them down here. So I tell my duo that I'm gonna take some shots here, and hopefully we can get some damage on these guys and push them, because we've got, shockwaves we can push. We've also got flow berries, and we've got a decent loadout.
Shot.
So I jump out the window to chase, and now we just try to put as much damage as we can on this guy.
Got one.
And my teammate knocks this guy, which is great. And now we're looking for the other guy, and I figured, hey, let's just thirst this guy really quick, and then we're gonna go for the other guy. Grab his shocks, that's wonderful. And then we go around this POI for a while, and we're searching for this guy. At one point, I will say that, yeah, we just thought he was in this area. And I stopped moving, I think. Yeah, sometimes the best way to find people that are crouching is if you just stop moving completely and go silent and then listen in, because a lot of times they'll be crouching, but you won't really be able to hear them over your own footsteps. So sometimes I just like to stop moving completely, listen in, and if I hear anything, then I know he's in the area. If I don't, then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna move on, right?
Did you drive off?
I didn't hear anything. My teammate was also moving, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, we can't fan the guy. But yeah, we get on this roof, and now another team is coming in, and we decide, let's go ahead and start fighting these guys. Now, one thing I will note is that before enemies get into your POI, it's always good to put some damage on them while you have nice cover and they don't, right? Apply that pressure. If you can land a nice, if I land a nice 110 on that guy, that makes this fight much easier for us. And if I can land another 110, then the fight's pretty much over. I shockwave onto him, I finish him off. That wasn't the case. And then I got sniped at from the back. So I was like, okay, we need to immediately move. We are pinched right now between two teams. So the decision is always going to be get to cover. Don't risk your life, because even if I beat the team in front of me one way or the team behind me, we're going to get third party. So I got two guys on my roof right now, and I'm telling my partner that I'm going to shockwave up, try to break them down through this roof. Then we can get some high ground and hopefully finish this fight really quick. Now, I also have this thing in mind, right? I know there's a bush out in front of me, so that's where I'm going towards. I would not recommend shockwaving yourself like just out into the random area without having an idea of where you're going to go, because if you don't have cover where you're landing, or if you don't know it's safe, that could be all kinds of bad. So I knew there was a bush out here, and that's why I'm going this way. I was just trying to get them off the roof, drop down in this structure so I could snipe them. Didn't happen. And now another team is sneaking up here, and that is fencing fields for you. It's just like mid-game, it just becomes absolutely crazy. And we still haven't gotten the medallion yet. We still haven't gotten to the vault. Maybe we should have earlier because of all this craziness, but a lot of times you're just going to get third-partied while getting that medallion and getting the mythic. So we decided just, fight it out, try to eliminate everybody in the POI, and it took too long, was really the problem. Now notice that I quickly decide, after I hit this guy for 105 right here, right? And I hit him a couple times. A lot of people might push after this guy right now and go over this hill and get in this fight. I don't know where that guy's duo is. If I push over that hill right now, I'm probably in a 1v2. I could finish that guy off, but then I'm in a 1v1 with a guy who probably is going to have more health than me, and I'm leaving my duo high and dry over here. I know there's another fight behind me. So I immediately make the decision to go fight with my teammate. I'm keeping eyes on them, right? Like just for a second, I look back just to keep eyes, see if I know where they're at, right? Before I push in here and get shot from the side. And now we push up and I try to help my teammate with this fight. I'm still looking around behind me, and here, lo and behold, this guy's coming back. So we're going to put some pressure on him, and then we're going to get into cover. Because a lot of times also in ranked, you don't know if that's the original guy, even though it's the same skin you were shooting at. A lot of people will wear the same skin in ranked. Me and my partner are wearing the same skin. So you really don't know if it's the guy that was super hurt, right? That could be his duo.
For a sec. Looking for that black skin that I cracked. Can't find him.
In this bush or something.
And notice we're communicating back and forth. My teammate's saying that he's looking for the black skin that he hurt really bad. And I'm kind of stuck here in this building. These guys are getting on the roof. That guy luckily gets sniped. So now I'm kind of out of danger. But this guy pushes in, and now I'm stuck in this 50-50 here. I call for help. I say I need help, and now we're in a 50-50. Unfortunately, I really don't like taking 50-50s, and this is just, we just got to hit more shots. And luckily, we both run out of ammo, and he misses a shot right there. We got a little bit of movement on him, which made it hard for him, but at the same time, like, this could have gone either way. And that's why I don't like being so close to enemies, especially with like frenzy shotguns. It's just like if he had a purple frenzy, that fight's probably over for me, right? So luckily I got it off. We killed him, and my teammate is rolling in to help. These guys are trying to third party this.
Trying to get to a spot where I can help you, but can't.
And now I'm watching him while I'm in this bush. I'm hurt, right? But if he goes down, it's pretty much over, right? Really quick, if you're enjoying this video, please consider smashing that like button, body slamming the subscribe button, and gently tapping the notification bell to get alerted every time I drop a new video. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of gunshots going off, and even though I'm hurt, because I'm hearing so many gunshots,
Yeah, he shocked away. That's him down there.
Fighting.
right, that's a lot of gunshots going off. And that instantly in my mind right now is like, that's too many gunshots. That's too long of a fight right now. These guys are very hurt for sure. Like, I just know that. And I'm kind of trying to figure out who to shoot. I decided that guy's the easiest shot. Lo and behold, they kill each other pretty much. Or at least I land one shot on them and we end that. And then it's just free loot pile over here. Pretty sweet. And yeah, You get looted up. And now we're going to go ahead and push for the medallion. But we see a res going off.
Resin, dude. That's that Peter Griffin.
So I knew that Peter Griffin got away that one time, and I figure that's that Peter Griffin. I say that because I'm pretty sure that's the only solo in the area that actually lived. I took a flowberry, hit a shockwave.
One's in the house, right?
Yep.
And one's
the guy without
running away.
loot is in the house.
I call out the guy without loots in the house. I had this guy for 116. I just kind of want to try to
116,
kill him if we can. We can't. And now it's time to focus on the other guy who's here, who only has a white pistol. So the reason we push this, I mean, you guys probably know. You push reses when people are just getting res because they got nothing, right? It's a free kill, and in ranked, kills do matter, especially towards the end game like this. They start counting for more. So we're going to go ahead and push this guy. And I see this guy, and my first reaction isn't to just push forward. I actually pull backwards, right? A little bit of me is like, okay, I'm pulling back towards cover in case something goes wrong. We get him so hurt that we're like, okay, let's push in, finish this guy, and then we get right back to cover, right? Because I just know how ranked goes. You start fighting somebody and you get shot in the back, and I really don't have enough health right now to be doing that. So, you know, it's already kind of risky to push this guy, get back to cover, and go get health after we kill that guy. And now the boss is in storm, and we decide, okay, we're not going to push the boss right now because we need to go get some green health. So I'll go to this med kit station over here, or the mending machine, get some health, and start pushing back towards the boss. And right now I'm kind of looking around, scanning the courtyard while my teammate kills the boss. I'm like very confident that he's got that handled. What we don't want happening is him getting third partied by somebody rolling in, right? So I'm trying to keep eyes.
Oh, nice. It's open.
And now we're just going to drop down this way, go into the vault, and we break the floor in here because it's just faster. We're kind of needing some gold, so we just keep breaking the floor. Gold is really, really important in ranked and just in Fortnite right now in general in Chapter 5 because upgrade benches cost a lot of money and mending machines are all over the map and they're super helpful. As you saw, you can fill your health up or you can buy med kits. So gold is really helpful. So I like to try to get as much gold as I can. I'm always low on it. And this is how we mod our snipers. If you haven't seen my sniper video, I use the drum mag with 5 shots. I use the P2X optic, which is a 2X scope. And then I use a angled foregrip, which allows you to scope in faster. And then I used a suppressed muzzle, suppressed silencer barrel. Not muzzle. And then for my AR, I always go with the 1.15 scope. I don't know why. Sometimes I go with the 1.3, but usually I've been going with the 1.15 lately. And I'll go with a speed mag, and then I'll go with vertical foregrip for improved recoil and spread, and then usually I go with a silencer. I don't know why. The silencer just feels better to me. Maybe it's because I'm used to Nisha's AR. Something about having silenced gunshots just makes me feel more in control. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But yeah, if you like something, just stick with it if it's not hurting. As long as you know like the options, right? And you've felt it and you know the difference, then you know, make a decision. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the med kit station over here, the mending station, and the move is probably to buy some health packs right now. So patch up. Didn't buy any health packs. Interesting move. Generally, if you're in Storm, guys, just buy out the health packs. Maybe it was full. I really don't know why I made that decision there. So we're gonna come out of the storm probably with like about 60 to 70 health. Because yeah, there it is. So 65 health. We ran out of gas. But yeah, we're gonna keep rotating. We're also looking for that Peter Griffin. The one that got away.
Cooler. Oh, he's here,
My teammate finds him. Hiding in there, and he was hurt real bad. So we get him. And we got 6 kills. Come upon a med pack and a fish, and we basically I'm gonna pop the med pack, he's gonna pop the fish. I was gonna hit the Flowberry Fizz and then hit the jump pad, but my teammate didn't do that, so it's like, what's the point in me landing that far beyond him? A lot of times it's better to like land together and fight together, sort of thing. And now we're looking for vehicles. Again, just always looking for vehicles. So I see a car right here. We're saying that's kind of a weird placement, so we're kind of like keeping our eyes out, making sure no enemies around. Grab the car. We're just looking for enemies right now. I know that a medallion team is out here. You can see on the map this yellow circle, and now I'm trying to pin my pin marker on the map to see kind of generally where they are. So I'm just hitting my pin mark button, and I can see that they're kind of near this pin over here. So yeah, I'm looking, scanning this area right here where my mouse is, and so I figured, yeah, let's get ahead. And then I spot a car over here. I mark that, and I see a sniper pulled out. So we're gonna park the car here, get out. We land a nice quick shot on this guy.
16.
And notice that I'm ducking up and down as I'm shooting. There's another guy right here. It's kind of risky already. I don't have the best position, but I do have a nice kind of head glitch going. Not a lot of great cover though. I would have preferred if I would have stopped the car earlier here and fought on this hill with a little bit better of a head glitch. But we took him by, surprise, which is nice. But it's kind of a danger. And that's why you see me ducking a lot. I don't want to get headshot sniped. So you see I take a shot and I duck down really quick. Now I'm just watching right where that guy's peak is going to be, and I just pull the trigger. Now that guy's hit for 130 or 232, and this guy's hit for 116, and that is go time in my mind. My teammate's fairly good health. He did get hit. I tell him I'm going to push in. Now here's a really important thing here. I could push up to this tree right here and take this kind of 50-50 fight. I know he's going to be more hurt than me, but his teammate peeled off and I really don't know where he went. And I don't want to take that fight because if I start shooting this guy and I get in a close range fight, he's probably going to do a lot of damage to me. His teammates are going to be shooting me too. So instead, what I do is I push up a little bit and I get a nice little momentum to slide down the hill so I can get some distance from him. I kind of just like locating the enemies, right? I go up there to locate. I push in right with the hopes like maybe I can land some quick damage, finish him off. I can't, so I'm going to back up. And now I saw where the other guy was, so I'm going to shockwave onto him because I know he's hurt, and I'm going to catch him by surprise. And now we just have to wait for this guy to come up, and boom, it's easy. So replay that back full speed. And one thing that you can note is that I cut my angle here with the car. I ran forward to cut this angle because I figured this guy's gonna be running up the hill. I'd rather like kind of slide into some cover and have some cover to fight this guy. I see footsteps, I pull out the snipe and just scope in, and he walks right into it. So I was very confident no matter what, we're gonna win that fight because my teammate is still good health. And now we have someone sniping at me and I instantly get in the car and I'm like, let's go.
Get in. Let's just go.
Cars, again, are so important right now in Chapter 5 because there's so many snipers. You can get one shot killed so easily that having some sort of shield like this, this car is basically like a moving porta-fort. So I'm always driving cars as much as I can, and I highly encourage you to do it as well. It's like pretty much the meta in Ranked is to just always be driving cars because they absorb all this damage, and the storm moves really fast as well. And yeah, if you can drive 2 cars, even better. I can tell these guys are taking shots from afar. I can see that they're shooting at our car from afar. We're not in any immediate danger, but I still am not loving this spot that we're in. And I can see a medallion team rolling in pretty quick. Now notice the rotation I take here. I'm going to ride the storm edge here. And what I'm going to do is kind of scan for players along the edge because I don't want to go right into the middle of this. There's 2 medallion teams here. I drive into the middle of this. We're going to get third partied even if we kill one of these teams, right? We're just going to get pushed by the other. So I'd much rather just kind of play the outskirts, play slow here, scan for anyone on the outskirts that might be behind us, and then keep everybody in front of us, right? That's a huge tip. If you didn't know, whenever you have a storm circle, always play edge and move in with the storm if you can, especially if you're in a car, because you just don't know who's out there, right? If you can't get a nice spot set up really early, if you're not ahead of storm by a lot and like set up early, then it's kind of best to just ride the storm and look for enemies, as long as you don't have like a ton of distance to travel, right? Where you're just gonna walk into a bunch of enemies and like surprise, like we're stuck in the storm and there's like 3-4 teams here. No, don't do that, but definitely be scanning for teams before the storm is right on you. And then, we're also looking for options like other cars. So we go ahead and grab this car as well, and then we're going to start moving. Okay, so now we're just calling out medallions and marking them. I like to mark medallions on my map just so I kind of generally know where they are when I look at my screen. And there you go. I'm like, oh, okay, these guys are like right over this hill, pretty close. And so we're probably going to end up having to fight these dudes, just looking for them, driving around, scoping. Again, trying to get as much information because there's still 14 other enemies out there, 7 other teams, and that could be anywhere. So yeah, we push up on this hill.
Yep, they're there. Yeah,
we see this car. Now here's a note here. I'm not going to take this shot. I'm not going to like draw any fire. We're going to wait. And we're just going to see what they do. We're going to check our back really quick, make sure we're not getting snuck up on and sniped in the back while we're kind of being you know, static here.
Okay, we spray.
And you hear me say, okay, we spray, which I mean spray with an AR or an SMG, whatever he's got. Spray this vehicle because sniping it's not going to do anything. But if we spray it and put enough pressure on, we can blow it up really quick and they're stuck in that valley. Or we can blow out their windows and then start doing damage to them, right? So when you see people in cars, spray them with your AR, try to break out that front windshield. And it's best if you can catch them running straight at you because it can land a bunch of damage on their face as they drive towards you. Now that guy comes in with just a very bad push. Not something you want to do, guys, is jump up on a hill with 2 other players. You don't know who's on this hill. You don't know what's going on up here. You don't want to shockwave this way. If anything, he should shockwave over to his right, get some cover, reset the fight, or go back to the bunker, whatever. But he chose death here. He just chose death. Even if he killed me, right? He probably wouldn't, first of all, because there's 2 of us right here. And even if he did, though, my teammate's going to still have high ground on his friend. I don't know. It's just kind of a silly thing. I see a lot of people take these crazy 50-50s just hoping that they're going to jump on people's heads and win. You know, at best, that's just 50-50. It's a gamble.
Space on us, yeah. Oh, no.
So I'm going to chase his teammate, see if we can knock him. Feel bad for his teammate right now because he's like, dang, dude, why'd you do that? Ranked is all about decision making. It's just all about these small decisions that you make. Pushing on that hill was a decision that guy made, and yeah, it ended their game early. We thirst that guy, we move on, and now we've got 2 cars. My teammate's got a car and I've got a car, which always recommended. And this medallion is also behind us as well, rolling out. So we're pushing into another medallion right here. We've got a medallion behind us. And I'm just looking, right? When you come into these circles, you know, we're a little late already. You just got to be eyes up, looking everywhere, scanning your environment for enemies because you want to try to find a safe spot. Right now, we're just trying to secure a safe spot, and this is not looking safe. And I'm thinking somebody's probably in this house as well. And I'm not really liking that. We have 2 cars though, so that's great. We can just kind of just keep cruising around and try to gather as much information as possible about what's going on in the zone. We know there's at least 4 players behind us, 2 teams, and then probably another team in here. So that's 6. And then minus ourselves, we're down to 13. So there's 7 other players we don't know about somewhere.
Oh, there's a guy right here.
So I saw a guy, and immediately, this is also a nice thing about cars. You can jump out of the car, take a shot, and then jump right back in. It's a exit tactic. And now there's a ballistic shield. Trying to knock him, try to stun him. And now we're in kind of this awkward position where we might have a team behind us, and there's teams up on this hill.
I'm driving this way.
And I'm trying to catch this guy shooting at my teammate right now because he's probably not looking at me, expecting me to be sniping, right? So I'm just trying to get this angle, looking for it, and I don't have it. And now I'm getting a little nervous, and I want to just probably keep driving here because the people behind me could be looking at me. It was already kind of a risk to just get out of the car right there. So I was asking if they're on the hill, and he said that they jumped off. I'm parking my car right now in a spot that I'm hoping they're not going to be able to shoot it because I want at least 1 healthy car here, you know, an exit.
It's alright, we got ours. Mine, don't go after it.
He lost his car off the edge, and I said, don't go after it. Another thing about ranked, right? It's small decisions to whether you chase down the hill for that car or that piece of loot. Just don't do it. Just play your life. As long as you've got a vehicle, just, you know, you're happy with that one. I'm trying to figure out, that guy got sniped at, right? From some other team. We heard some snipes go off in that fight, and that's why they left the hill.
They're getting hit. No, I'm fine.
You hear that gunshot go off? They're getting hit. So we know that somebody's sniping, right? So we know 2 guys just jumped off this edge, and there's another team in the vicinity, probably at this little shack down to the right. We're just gathering more information, right? Now we know where 4 more players are, as well as the 6 behind us, probably 6. That's 10 players and us, right? So that's pretty much all the teams fairly accounted for, but we still don't know exactly where this team is, and I don't want to get sniped, so I'm just getting back in my car. Again, it's body armor, you know, it's full on armored vehicle, and there we go. Now we find out where they are. They're in the window. And a lot of times driving a car like this is great bait, right? You heard me ask my duo, do you have a shot? Like if he has a shot, then he can shoot that guy through the window because he's shooting at me, right? People love to shoot at cars, which I love when I'm in a car. I'm like, yes, please shoot at my car so I can jump out and shoot you, or my duo can shoot you while you're focused on the car. You're really not doing anything. You know, that guy hit me for like 200 damage to my car. It's not a big deal. So I see one running right there. Go for a headshot and miss it just by a little bit. Hit him for 116, but his teammate is on me, and now we're back to the car. So again, another great reason to have cars, right? There's just no cover up here. This car is like going to save our life 100% right here.
Getting pushed.
116, yep.
He asked me if I'm getting pushed.
Hit him for 20.
I told him yes, and I'm just keeping distance, right? I don't want this guy in my car, and I don't want to take a close range 50-50 shotgun fight with him. I'd rather just have the distance and play the car as my cover. So this guy actually got in my car, but he left. He's leaving because I think he's too hurt. I'm going to drive my car back up the hill. I'm just trying to keep away from these guys. Then enter my car again.
79 on the other.
That right there is a strategy for a lot of car fights. If you haven't watched my advanced car fight video, if you have watched it, you'll know this trick. But a lot of times the best move is to just jump out of the car and shoot the person in the face through the windshield with an AR or an SMG, right? So you just jump out, you look in there, and they rarely ever expect this. For some reason, they think they're safe when they're in their car and they can just kind of jump out and switch seats and do all this stuff. Well, they got to switch seats twice and you're going to be spraying them in the head the entire time. So you do massive amounts of damage, right? So we probably dumped like 150 damage in that guy.
79 guy, not your guy.
So it's pretty much the easiest damage you can deal in a car fight is someone just sitting in a seat because you just have to aim at their head and pull the trigger. So now we slide down. It's just getting crazy, right? It's just getting a little too crazy. I know there's teams behind me. I'd like to finish this fight as soon as possible. My teammate just went down.
Hitting for a lot. Hitting for 8.
We knocked this guy.
All my stuff's.
We're just gonna get the thirst, try to get some, extra points, and we're just looking around.
You can see.
I don't want to get shot in the back as I go up this hill to try to get my teammate.
You actually get to me, dude.
And here comes this guy.
Throw it forward.
There's another guy.
We land a snipe shot him. Out of AR.
I have one shot for each one.
We finish him with the frenzy. And he calls out that he has a shockwave on his body and he has a medallion. I grab the medallion. I'm trying to get his card and I'm trying to get the shockwave. Actually, I'm just at the shockwave at this point. Now you'll see that there's niches. I know that he has niches mythic as well, but I'm not going for it. I will see this mistake so many times. I've made this mistake. I'm being honest, right? He has a gold sniper and niches AR and the sniper's modded just the way I like it. I'm not going for it. I know the consequence that I'm going to pay, or at least a very likely chance that I die picking this stuff up by a sniper watching me, right? So I'm just going to heal and cover right now. I'm going to grab these porta forts because that's really important end game, and I'm just going to make my way in. A green AR is going to be better than dying for a gold or a mythic. So we're just scanning our environment. We had somebody shoot at us earlier there to our left. So I'm looking for them. Maybe they're up in that porta fort. Maybe they're in this POI. And now we're going to go from cover piece to cover piece. We're going to play this bush. I'm praying that no one's in this bush. I got kind of lucky that no one's in it. And now I'm just scanning, right? I'm looking for these enemies because again, it's really about knowing where everyone's at before you move. There's 6 total players here. I'm one of them. That means there's 5 others in this game. And I'm trying to account for as many players as I can before I start moving. So I see a guy sliding over to the left right now in this bunker. And I was hoping they might get in a fight. Looks like they're in a team.
He's being pushed by this team.
Now this team's over here, so that's 4 players. That's great.
A lot of people in for it, so bad.
I mean, it's not great. I'm in a terrible spot, but I'm just like kind of scouting everyone. I don't want to kick the hornet's nest at all. I just kind of want to secure a spot in zone. So I'm looking at the map right now, and I'm looking at where I need to throw this bunker to get into zone, just to get into zone, and then get in my bunker and just play slow, right? So we're in zone now. And now we just look around, right? We just try to keep a nice barrier between us and enemies. People are getting knocked right now. This is great. The focus is not on me. We love that. Taking snipes where I can, trying to eliminate as many enemies as I can. Just get them out of my bubble, get less people in the zone. The more people in the zone, the more chaotic it gets. But you really got to be safe with the shots you take, right? So I'm ducking down right here, right? And I'm looking for easy shots. Boom, there's one. And now we just go back to cover. We get an easy knock right there. I mean, not easy, but it's a good shot. But we're keeping ourselves safe, right? We're trying to put damage out. We're trying to eliminate players without taking the risk of dying ourselves. So we're going to try to get this nice quick knock right here. Take a quick shot. Now we look around really quick. See if we can thirst the guy that we knocked or take a shot on the guy in the bush. We can't, but it looks like his teammate is in a fight right now with another player, which is great for us. As long as people are not shooting at us and they're not focused on us, that's great. Now, what we need to do right now is think about the guy over to our left. So
back towards you, sort of.
Pretty soon here, yeah, we need to look at this guy. Okay, he's pushing in. Unfortunately, we have to take a 50-50 fight, and he has Oscar's Mythic, which was not good for me. But here's the important thing is I landed this early damage before he got in on me. If I didn't land this early damage right here, this 36 damage, I guess it was only 36. But we landed a nice 57 right there with a good shot where like I was fairly safe in cover. That made all the difference in this fight. And we're being hard to hit, right? Like I'm just trying to put out as much damage as I can without just taking a straight up 50-50 and jumping out there and fighting this guy, right? I'm trying to use cover as best I can and being very hard to hit. So I'm playing tight to this wall. Now I'm jumping, trying to get over his head, break his camera. And we were able to finish him. He was pretty hurt, I guess, already. So was I. And he has another medallion, which is great. So now I think I have 3 medallions. I'm healing quickly here. Yeah, so I'm healing for 4 tick, which is nice. And we got the storm on our butt. We've got 2 shockwaves and a portafort, which is perfect. I know there's one guy left over there. It's a 1v1, and I just need to jump into closer to zone here on the map and then lay down my portafort on the hill, on high ground, so that he has to come to me. So boom, we set up. And this is a win, right? In my mind, this is like, okay, sweet. We've pretty much got the win. I can hit this guy if he's trying to come across this river with my AR or my sniper. I'm just going to like find him really quick. I just need to find him.
1v1. Yeah, no, I don't know where.
And I can't find him right now. And he has a flowberry and a shockwave, which takes me by surprise because now he's all the way up on the hill above me. And immediately I go for the shockwave. You cannot waste any time here because if I let this guy get set up, right? If I let him get up above my head, start looking down on me, it's trouble. So I'm immediately going to follow him with the shockwave, get behind him, and boom, we land a nice quick 180 damage or so on him with the shotgun.
Oh.
And that's game. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Just explaining my thought process about how I'm doing things. And a lot of it, again, is just about these small decisions that you make, right? Whether to pick up the loot or not, right? Like this guy had Oscar's shotgun as well right here. He had a lot of great loot, right? A lot of people will just fumble through this loot right now and get killed by the storm behind them. The loot is not important. I mean, it will make a difference for sure, but only loot when you have time, when you're safe, right? It's more important to play your life, look for the enemy right away, start figuring out what's going on in the zone, and just get out of storm, right? Storm's moving in. I just didn't want to get pushed by the guy while I'm looting, you know, and I don't have eyes on him. So in my opinion, it was much better to keep my eyes up. So again, small decision like that make all the difference in ranked. You've got to make quick decisions and you've got to play safe and you've got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead, right? If you get in fights in ranked, you're playing against real players that are all even skill level to you. So you got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. If there's a lot of enemies in the area, you don't really want to get too involved because they're probably pretty good players and they're probably going to third party you. So you got to take safe engagements, right? If you're in a good spot and you're taking nice shots, go ahead and take those shots, but make sure your back is clear, make sure you've got good cover and you have escape routes, things like cars, that sort of thing. All right, that's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. It's always kind of hard for me to tell, you know, I don't know what you don't know, so I try to just put as much information in there as possible. Hopefully I can help all kinds of different skill levels. And if you like this type of educational content, you gotta go check out my must-watch Zero Build playlist on my channel. I promise you will not regret it. And if you want to take your training even further, you might consider joining up as a Shinobi Clan member by clicking the join button on my YouTube channel. You can join up at any level and you get access to the private Discord full of awesome resources and really cool people. It is a 16+ Discord with 0 toxicity policy. And if you sign up as a master member, you get access to training 3 days a week with myself and other master members. And I gotta say, it is a steal of a deal. And if you don't want to join as a member, but you want to support me, that's totally fine. The easiest and best way to support me is by using creator code TobyWanShinobi in your Fortnite item shop. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day. Shinobi out.